Well, hello there. Clay Patton with your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report for the week ending December the 2nd. Great to have you along here once again as we take a look at what's happening in and across the mid-states and what's looking at for the sheep and goat market. I haven't really talked too in depth here in the last couple weeks as I was attending a conference there in Kansas City, then Thanksgiving. So we're going to look at this more in a retrospective of compared to 2 weeks ago. But overall, we call the Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report compared to 2 weeks ago fully steady for hair lambs and goats. Now, hair lambs did show some softer undertones, but that was on a fairly limited basis. Wool lambs were $20 to $25 a hundredweight lower compared to 2 weeks ago. Heavy lambs, though, do appear to be more popular than the lighter weight feeder or ethnic lambs right now. Breeding market continues to be thin, not seeing quite as many sales results where we're talking about some of those good fleshy running age ewes returning to the country, nor does on the goat side. With that being said, though, we have several upcoming barns that are promoting some breed stock special sales that are going to be happening here in the next few weeks, and those look to maybe finally give us a kind of a good test of where this breeding market wants to be. So we'll see kind of how the volume and things for those turn out here just ahead of going into 2024. Now, with that, after a holiday shortened week, really positive, a really good volume returning back. Most sales reporting, a couple thousand head through the ring. So that's always a positive number to see. Even better than that, though, was not seeing buyer fatigue. Again, looking at most of these individual sale reports, the buyers hung right in there and were able to keep a fairly steady market throughout these bigger runs. So that's always a good note to see that they're not buying hand to mouth what they need and then just kind of leaving the rest on the table. They're staying in there and they're buying throughout the sale. So always a good number there, especially on these weeks where we have bigger runs. Now with that, Hanukkah, Christmas, they're on the horizon. Maybe we'll see some near-term pickup in demand when it comes to that. Other data out this week, USDA released their commercial cold storage data just ahead of Thanksgiving. The U.S. essentially no change in commercial lamb stocks from September to October. As of October 31st, the U.S. had 26.15 million pounds in commercial cold storage. That was about 9% or 2.5 million pounds less than a year ago. This continues to show the lamb market staying fairly current. Now, 9% is good, but for the beef and pork compared to a year ago, both of them were down 13% year over year. Now, for the beef and pork, I will say this could hint at packer margins being thinner for those companies and them being more reluctant to run a higher chain speed and put more product back into cold storage. At the retail level this week, the lamb retail activity index was down nearly 18% after we saw a robust move higher ahead of Thanksgiving, with lamb cuts down 22.5%. Roast ads were down 95% in circulars, while chop ads were 265% higher. So again, we switched from that Thanksgiving mindset back to more of the fancier dinner night mindset for circular advertising. Lamb features offered more ad space, obviously, for chops and for stew meat in these colder temperatures. Now, as we go through the highlighted quotes on the week, we'll start here at Colby Livestock in Kansas, selling 23 head of 61-pound kid goats for $297.50 a hundredweight. That's $181 a head. Meanwhile, we'll see Colby sell 27 head of 83-pound hair lambs for $245 a hundredweight or $203 a head. Now, Centennial Livestock in Colorado sold 30 head of 118-pound slaughter wool lambs for $187 a hundredweight or $220 a head. Upper end of the draft brought $212.50 a hundredweight or $250 a head. Now, Centennial Livestock also sold 30 head of 82-pound hair lambs for $237 a hundredweight or $194 a head. Upper end of the draft sold $240 a hundredweight or $197 a head. Centennial also sold 26 head of 125-pound goat withers for $246 a hundredweight or $308 a head. Upper end of the draft brought $300 a hundredweight or $375 a head. Now to Kelowna, Iowa, they sold 8 head of 52-pound wool lambs for $307 a hundredweight or $160 a head. Upper end of the draft brought $325 a hundredweight or $169 a head. Kelowna, Iowa also sold 147 head of 65-pound hair lambs for $239 a hundredweight or $155 a head. Upper end of the draft brought $260 a hundredweight or $169 a head. Kelowna, Iowa also sold 28 head of 106-pound goat withers for $253 a hundredweight or $268 a head. Upper end of the draft sold for $321 a hundredweight or $340 a head. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock, big run on the wool lambs. 1,827 head of 131-pound slaughter wool lambs sold for an average $186 a hundredweight. That's $244 a head. Upper end of this big draft brought $205 a hundredweight. That's $269 a head. Sioux Falls also sold 32 head of 86-pound goat wethers for $252 a hundredweight or $217 a head. Producers livestock in Texas sold 379 head of 85-pound slaughter hair lambs for $241 a hundredweight. That is $205 a head on the average. Producers also sold 400 head of 55-pound goats for $358 a hundredweight, or $197 a head on the average. Upper end of the draft brought $385 a hundredweight, or $212 a head. Now we go over to the slaughter numbers this week. Lamb slaughter this week estimated 42,000 head through Saturday, a 16,000 head increase from last week and 7,000 head more than a year ago. Year-to-date lamb slaughter now 1.678 million head. That is 4.1% or 67,000 head more than the previous year's lamb slaughter. Live lamb weights this week, 119 pounds, unchanged for several weeks. As we go back through, that was a decrease of 9 pounds from last year on the live side. Dressed lamb weights were 60 pounds. That was unchanged from last week and down 5 pounds from last year. Your regional price breakdown: wool lambs 20 to 40 pounds, not applicable in this current trend. 40 to 70 pounders, 140 to 345 a hundredweight. Wool lambs 70 pounds and up, 167.50 to 270 a hundredweight. Hair lambs 20 to 40 pounds, 230 to 330 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pound hair lambs 210 to 340 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, 155 to 250 a hundredweight. On the wool ewes, the stocker ewes not available, but slaughter ewes 51 to 137.50 a hundredweight. On the slaughter rams, 75 to 120 a hundredweight. Hair ewes, slaughter ewes 50 to 125 a hundredweight. Hair rams 55 to 210 a hundredweight. On the kid goats, 20 to 40 pounds, 175 to 430 a hundredweight. 40 to 70 pounds, $190 to $400 a hundredweight. 70 pounds and up, $190 to $350 a hundredweight. On the withers, on the big goat withers, 70 pounds and up, $175 to $321 a hundredweight. On the does, slaughter does, medium to fleshy, $120 to $280 a head. And on the slaughter bucks, $130 to $220 a hundredweight. And that is a look here at your Midwest Sheep and Goat Market Report. Have a great rest of your day.